Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Between Two Spines. I am Dr. Jay Kernucker, and with me as always is Dr. Joe Kerber. So what do we got this week, Joe?
A lot of people have been coming in, bringing their kids in, talking about having ear infections associated with teething.
Teething, that's a big one. And it's something we actually get a question about a lot, and people think that the two are interchangeable. Either sinus or ear infections with teething, and you can't have one without the other, and that couldn't be any further from the truth.
Yeah, exactly. See it all the time, and the biggest thing that we actually want to get through to people is make sure that even before the first sign of having pulling on ears and that kind of stuff, get them in, get them checked, make sure that we get that stuff to actually clear out so that you don't have that association between the teething. So, and what we see a lot too is that once they start teething, they're putting everything in their mouth, and it can change a lot of the kind of pressure on the internal environment, so it can kind of close off some of the tubes that drain into the back of the throat from the ear. So,
well, and that's the big thing about teething is that, with teething, kids are going to be little snot factories. They're going to be drool, there's going to be snot, there's going to be everything's draining. That's a normal sign of teething. What's not normal, and there's no place for it to go. And when it doesn't drain, and it sits in those nasal cavities, and it sits in those ears, and then it becomes a breeding ground for infection. So, can they go hand in hand? Yes, they can. But the difference is if it's draining and everything working as it should be, those ear infections don't come. So what Joe was saying is getting that kid checked. If we can get them checked to make sure we can help with the drainage and make sure that we can get that kid functioning like it should be and those ears and sinuses draining, then the infections have no place to begin.
It all comes down to the neurology. How is that brain communicating with the part of the body? And a lot of times what we see is typically a little bit higher up in the spine. That's a little bit off, a little short in the system. Doesn't allow things to function and allow that drainage to kind of go there. So.
Yeah, so especially because kids are teething, like any age, it's important to get them in and get them checked. But when they're teething, even more important because it just provides all that much more mucus, and if there's no place for it to go, infection starts. So, anyways, that's all we got for this week. Until next week, take care. I haven't choked in my gum in the car. I just threw up. Get all the cough out first.
You teething?
Yes, I am.
Right, exactly. Kind of a good problem to have for candy anyway.
Joe, what are you doing?
I'm teething.
I literally feel like I'm gonna cough. In any minute.
Turn your head. Another good English.
We're nailing that. I realize right now we're both wearing purple.
Ooh.
Yeah. Took till the end of the video.
Great.